Hi, my dear students. Good morning to each and everyone. And today we are also meeting to discuss about the class of business law. In the previous class, we are discussing about the so many concepts. What are those concepts we are recalling once again? In that, the first one is the introduction to business law, Vyavahara Kanunugala Parichaya. In that, we are discussing in the previous class meaning and definition of the business, Vyavaharada Artha Mattu Vakhe, and the meaning of law and the definition of the law, Nyayada Artha Mattu Vakhe. And the next one is here we are discussing in the previous class nature of the laws, nature of the law, Nyayada Swarupa, and now we are going to discuss the most important concept and the topic here. It is a 2 marks question, very important. A meaning of business law. This is the most important concept we are discussing here. A meaning of business law. A meaning and definition of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. So this is an important topic. Before we are discussing, before we are knowing the business regulation, we should know that what is meant by business law. Individually, the term business and the term law we are studied previous. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳನ್ನ ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಪದಗಳ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕವಾದಂತಹ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. The meaning of the business law is nothing but the business law is called another names is very important. So this is also they are taken and asked for. So in that the first one is commercial law. Business law also called as commercial law and also called as mercantile law. Business law is also called as commercial law and mercantile law, as well as the body of rules. The body of rules, this is what we called as business law. So here when we are going to the meaning, what is meant by business law, here they given the two most important meanings. In that the first one is business law is nothing but the commercial law, or business law is the body of law. Body of law is nothing but it is a set of rules and regulations. It is a set of rules and regulation or a group of rules and regulation which governs business and commerce. So governs means controls. So what they are going to control, the activities of the business and the activities of the commerce. Activities of the business is nothing but purchasing, selling, manufacturing, distributing. Each and every activities comes under the business. Commerce is nothing but trade and business. Yes, of course. Each and every commercial activities also they are controlling. So if we are going to control these activities, we needed a set of rules and regulations, a group of rules and regulations, so which controls the activities of the business and is often considered to be a branch of civil law. So I am previously telling that a business law is comes from the civil law of the constitution. So entire law, rules and regulations, they are divided into 2 points. First one is the civil law and second one is the criminal law. Criminal law is totally for the purpose of humans or the citizens of India. The civil law consists of the business law. Civil law consists of the business law. It is the branch or group of the civil law. It deals both the issue of the private law and public law. Commercial law regulates means controls. Corporate contracts means company agreements. Hiring practices. Hiring, what is the term means hiring? What is the term means hiring? We are taking it as a rental practices. So many purposes we are using this one. For the purpose of using some patents, we are hiring the patents, we are hiring the buildings. So hiring practices and the manufacture and the sales of consumer goods, each and every activities is controlled by the law called as commercial law. So this is about the meaning of business law. Once again, I am telling you students, business law is nothing but we are also called in another two names is the first one is commercial law and the second one is mercantile law. Second one is the mercantile law. Here it is a set of rules and regulations which controls the business activities, which controls the commercial activities, as well as it is a branch of the civil law, and it controls each and every contract of the corporate field or the business field, hiring practices, as well as the manufacturing and the sale of the goods practices. All activities is controlled under the regulation or rules and regulations, what we called as a law called business law or commercial law or mercantile law. This is the first meaning. After this, the second meaning here, business law is also known as commercial law. We are already known this commercial law, and is that a branch of law that deals with the legal rights, duties, liabilities of parties involved in any kind of business transactions relating to commerce, trade, sales, merchandise. Is a branch of the civil law and includes public as well as private law. So this meaning also gives the similar as well as the first meaning. First meaning ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆಯೋ ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಹ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ನೋನ್ ಆಸ್ ದಿ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಆರ್ ಮರ್ಕೆಂಟೈಲ್ law. It is a branch of the civil law and it deals with the legal rights, duties, liabilities of the parties. Parties means businessmen, shareholders, stakeholders, each and every persons what we called as the parties who involved in the business transaction, either maybe directly or indirectly, or internal relationship or external relationship towards the business transaction relating to the any activities of the commerce, trade or sales or merchandise. So this is what we called as a business law. In simple terms, what is meant by business law is nothing but business law is a rules and regulation. It is controlled or regulates the activities of the commerce and trade. So it is the origin, it is the branch of the civil law. So this is the simple meaning about the business law. Both the meanings give the similar characteristics. So therefore, you should write the first meaning or you should write the second meaning. After that, the definition they are given, the definition they are given here. What is the definition they are given means? So business law defines as a branch of the law. So it is a group of the law, or it is a division or a branch of a law that regulates. What it means? Regulate means controls the relations that originate from conducting economic activities. See, they are indirectly telling us what are those economic activities? Profit oriented activities. Those profit oriented activities they are conducting or that are in a close subject or functional relation with such activities. So that is what we call as business law. So business law can be defined as, once again I am telling you, my dear students, it regulates the relationship of the activities, controls the activities of the each and every business trade. That is simply what we called as one term, economic activities. So economic activities includes each and every business activity, each and every profit oriented activities. So that may be business, trade, commerce. So therefore, economic activities will be controlled by one such a law called as business law. This is about the definition they given about business law. So these are the meaning definition of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಅರ್ಥ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಎಸ್, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರೋದ್ಯಮ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು, ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರುಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ವ್ಯಾಪಾರೋದ್ಯಮ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕಾನೂನು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಹೆಸರುಗಳಿದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊದಲಿನಿಂದ ದಿವಾಣಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಎರಡು ಭಾಗಗಳಾಗಿ ನಾವು ವಿಂಗಡಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೊದಲನೇದು ದಿವಾಣಿ ನ್ಯಾಯ, ಎರಡನೇದು ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಮಿನಲ್ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದರ ಸಂಕ್ಷಿಪ್ತ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಅಥವಾ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವರು ಸಂಕ್ಷಿಪ್ತವಾಗಿ ವಿಸ್ತೃತವಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಿಸುವಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಶಾಸನಬದ್ಧ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಸಮೂಹ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುಂಪು. ಒಂದು ಸಮೂಹವನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾನೂನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾವು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ದೇಶದ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದೇಶದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಸಂಘಟನೆ, ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣೆ, ನಿರ್ವಹಣೆ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಮಾನ್ಯತೆ ಪಡೆದು ಅಧಿಕೃತವಾಗಿ ಆಚರಣೆಗೆ ತಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಒಂದು ನಿಯಮಗಳ ಗುಂಪನ್ನ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಅವ್ರು ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಅರ್ಥವನ್ನ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಬರೀಬಹುದಾಗಿದೆ. And the next concept we are moving on, it is the most important one. So we are already studying about the meaning of the business law and the definition of the business law. Now we are moving on, what are the important features of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು ಏನೇನಿದೆ. So the features of the business law. Business law is a universal law. Business law is a universal law applicable to each and every activities of the business universally, either it a small or it a medium or it a large business, anything else. So it is a universal rules and regulations applicable to all the activities of our country. So therefore, what are the most important features we are studying here? In that, the first one is it is the law of commerce or commercial law. So already we are knowing that. So the two another names of the business law is commercial law and mercantile law. So the first feature tells us it is the law of commerce or commercial law, as it is deals with all the aspects of entering into selling and purchasing agreements. See, this is the first feature they're telling us. What is the first feature here? All the aspects it's covering. It is covering all the aspects such as selling activities, purchasing agreements, selling agreements. If any problems is arises, it has its own acts. For example, Companies Act of 2013, Partnership Act of 1932, Environmental Protection Act of 1986, Consumer Protection Act of 1986. These are all the examples. If any problem is arises, they comes under their particular acts. It controls each and every activity. Therefore, this is the first feature telling us each and every aspect of selling and purchasing agreement comes under the business law. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಮಾರಾಟದ ಮತ್ತು ಖರೀದಿ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ತೊಂದರೆ ಬಂದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಗ್ರಾಹಕನಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬರ್ದಿರ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂತ ಪ್ರತ್ಯೇಕವಾದಂತ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕಂಪನಿಗಳ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ 2013 ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಗ್ರಾಹಕರ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣಾ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ 1986 ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಪರಿಸರ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣಾ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ 1986 ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಸರಕುಗಳ ಮಾರಾಟ ಸರಕುಗಳ ಮಾರಾಟ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ 1930 ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾರಾಟದಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಖರೀದಿಯಲ್ಲಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ತೊಂದರೆಗಳು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಂತ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ ಇದು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. And the next second feature is it includes the study of law of contract. It's the most important point we should study about the Contract Act. What is meant by contract? It is a agreement made between the two parties. So what is the Contract Act? Indian Contract Act of 1872. This is the most important act covering each and every aspect regarding the contracts, regarding the how they are made the contract, what is the valid contract, what is the unvalid contract. So how they are breaching the contracts. Breach means break down the means they are break down each and every rules and regulations in the contract. Each and everything we are discussing in the Indian Contract Act of 1872. The second feature tells us so the business law is the study of law of the contract, means the Contract Act of 1872, which is important in agreements or contracts that involve two or more parties buying and selling things in exchange of consideration or purchase price. Consideration, this is the very important term. It is a 2 marks question we are raising. What is meant by consideration? This is the 2 marks question. So here, if any problems is arising when in the terms of contract or agreement, in that situation what we can do, so how we can getting the compensation from the other party. First of all, you should know the meaning of the contract. Contract is an agreement made between the two parties. One party is the buyer, another party is the seller. One party is the offerer, another party is the offeree. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಒಪ್ಪಂದದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕರಾರು ಅಥವಾ ಷರತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಬ್ಬರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳ ನಡುವೆ ನಡೀತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ, ಒಂದು ಕರಾರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ವಾಗ್ದಾನವನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾವವನ್ನ ಇಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಪ್ರಸ್ತಾಪ ಮತ್ತು ಒಂದು ಭರವಸೆಯನ್ನ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನ ಪಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರೇಷನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. Without exchange of consideration, without exchange of money, no person is doing anything else. For the purpose of consideration only they are doing activities. So that is the important point here. In some situation, if we are paying the cash, we are paying the money, also we are not getting the work what we are expected. So what we can do in that situation, we should complain against the party who is not performing their duties and responsibilities towards our contract. So therefore, this is the important point here. So under the Contract Act of 1872, each and every remedies, compensations is available. They are clearly given. So therefore, business law is also covers the Contract Act of 1872 rules and regulations. Therefore, no party is getting losses because of the ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ನಷ್ಟವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸುವಂತ ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದವು ಅದು ಊರ್ಜಿತ ಒಪ್ಪಂದನ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಐದರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ನಾನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಇನ್ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. 1872ನೇ ಒಪ್ಪಂದದ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೂ ಸಹ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಇದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದವನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಏನು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದದಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಆಫರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಗೆ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಬಟ್ ಆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಹಾಫ್ ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಡ್ಯೂಟಿ, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಡ್ಯೂಟೀಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೌ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಪೇಯಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಎ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಸೊ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಲಾರ್ಜ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಪ್ಲೈಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಲಾಸಸ್. Therefore, business law is covers the contract law. It is very beneficial to the parties who involving in the contract acts. And the third feature is business law clearly explains the rules, duties, liabilities, and legal obligations. Legal obligations means objectives. Obligations means objectives of the parties involved in contract of sale, involved in contract of sale, purchase, or any other kind of contracts or agreements enter into in relation to any kind of business or commercial activity. See, the third feature tells us each and every rights and duties and liabilities and legal obligations. What is this? So, in this situation, what is the rights of the customers? What is the rights of the businessman? What is the rights of the parties and duties and liabilities? We are clearly mentioned each and every activities, rules and regulations in the business law. This is the most important point. For example, each and every acts we are clearly given for the purpose of compensation. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗೂ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೂ ಅವಂದೇ ಆದಂತ ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು, ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿಗಳು, ಹೊಣೆಗಾರಿಕೆಗಳು, ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಉದ್ದೇಶಗಳು ಏನೇನಿದೆ, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಗಿವನ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1872 ಟೋಟಲಿ ಡೀಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 1930 totally deals with sale of goods. Indian Partnership Act of 1932 totally deals with the partnership. And Indian Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881 is totally deals with the checks. Negotiable instruments means checks, promissory notes, bills. These are all what we called as the negotiable instruments. So relating to negotiable instrument problems, we are clearly given the explanation in the Negotiable Instrument Act of 1881. And also we are given clear information regarding the company registration, company dissolution, and how the company and how many members is consisting the joint stock company, whether in a public company or in a private company. Each and everything we are given in the Companies Act of 2013. And the Patent Act of 1970. In the Patent Act we are clearly given that how we are using the patents called as trademark, copyrights, how we are using. So each and every explanation we are given in the Patent Acts. And the consumer protections, consumer rights, consumer duties, consumer responsibilities we are clearly given in the 1986 of Consumer Protection Act. So that what I am telling here, we are clearly given the rights, duties, liabilities, and the legal objectives of the parties in the separate acts of the business law. Therefore, this is the third feature of the business law. After this, the fourth one is The fourth one is it includes intellectual property law called as patents, trademark, copyrights, and consumer protection law. See what I am telling here. The business law includes all the prescribed acts and rules and regulations. ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನಿನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳು ಏನೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳ ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನ, ಅದು ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಚಿಹ್ನೆಗಳು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರ ಚಿಹ್ನೆಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರಾಹಕರ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣೆಯ ಒಂದು ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳನ್ನ ಇದು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಈಸ್ Fifth feature is business law also deals with banking law, finance law, and other important civil laws. So civil law is not only consisting the business law, it also consisting the banking law, it also consisting the finance law also. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಒಂದು ದಿವಾಣಿ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೋ, ಸೊ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ನ ಒಂದು ನ್ಯಾಯ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಣಕಾಸಿನ ನ್ಯಾಯನೂ ಸಹ ಈ ದಿವಾಣಿ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡೀಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಲಾ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಲಾ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿ important features relating to the business law. In this session, we are discussing about the meaning of the business law. I am once again telling you the meaning of the business law and the definition of the business law and ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಮತ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಹಾಗೂ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯೆ are the important features of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ಪ್ರಮುಖ ಗುಣಲಕ್ಷಣಗಳು. After this, the next concept is the scope of the business law. The scope of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ನ್ಯಾಯದ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ. The scope means applicability of the business law. So where we are applying the business law? What is the boundaries or territories of the business law? The scope of mercantile law is very wide and a very vast concept. It is a wider concept. It includes relating to the contracts, partnerships, sale of goods, negotiable instrument called as where we are applying. So the first one is where we are applying the business law is Indian Contract Act, we are applying the business law, and the Sale of Goods Act, we are applying the business law, and the Partnership Act, we are applying the business law. It is also consisting the business law, and the negotiable instrument, we are also applying this, and the Companies Act also we are applying the business law, and Patents Act also we are applying the business law. Consumer Protection Act we are also applying the business law, and Environmental Protection also we are applying the business law. These are all acts is consisting by the business law only. So therefore this is about the scope of the business law. ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಯಾವ ಯಾವ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದಂತೆ ನೀತಿ ನಿಯಮಗಳನ್ನು ರೂಪಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ಇದರ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಹ ಇದು ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾಯ್ದೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯವನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಕುಗಳ ಮಾರಾಟ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ನಷ್ಟ ಭರ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿರ್ಬಂಧಿತ ಅನುಚಿತ ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಗಳ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ 1986 ಅದರಲ್ಲೇ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ವಿದೇಶಿ ವಿನಿಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಸ್ವಾಮಿತ್ವ ವರ್ಗಾವಣೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಒಡೆತನವನ್ನ ವರ್ಗಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಇದನ್ನ ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಹಕ್ಕುಗಳು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿ ಗುರುತುಗಳಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ವ್ಯಾಪಾರಿಗಳು ದಿವಾಳಿತನ ಆದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಈ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳ ಕಾಯ್ದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಾದಗಳು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಕಂಪನಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ನ್ಯಾಯ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅನ್ವಯ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಕೈಗಾರಿಕಾ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಪರಿಸರ ಕಾನೂನಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಗ್ರಾಹಕರ ಸಂರಕ್ಷಣಾ ಕಾನೂನಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಒಂದು ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಹೊಂದಿರುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾನೂನುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಇದರ ವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪರಿಧಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಅನ್ವಯಿಸುವಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಅನ್ವಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅನ್ವಯಿಸೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯವಹಾರದ ಕಾರ್ಯವ್ಯಾಪ್ತಿ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದು ವಿಸ್ತೃತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಕೋಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಲಾ.